Hello, Bangalore. If you're a Bangalorean, you must watch this video. I speak as my dad has tested positive for COVID last evening, and my experience as to what happened from the day of testing till today in terms of what we went through and what's the way forward. So now, basically, the idea of making this video is to simplify the COVID protocol for Bangalore. Now, I will share my experience as to what I went through over the last 5-6 days, and the government has been extremely helpful. All the numbers that have been given online have been working. Fantastic job, BBMP. Kudos to the Karnataka government and of course the government of India for making sure that the citizens are doing good. So as we speak, in the last 1 week, Bangalore has added over 7,500 corona cases, tripling its count. So what this has done is it's put some big time burden on the healthcare infrastructure of Bangalore. So it's been a little difficult to find beds, etc. But things seem to have sorted after the government has made some regulations where people can be can be in home isolation for mild and minor symptoms. Let me tell you guys one thing. The fear of COVID is more dangerous than COVID itself. The amount of panic media is spreading, and so many cases, 25,000 cases, please don't go by any of it. If you have symptoms, I will simplify in this video as to what needs to be done if you're a Bangalorean. Okay, this video is exclusively for people in Bangalore city only. So please watch it and share it with your friends to save a life. And as we move ahead, I will tell you what needs to be done ahead. So what happens in a typical scenario of in Bangalore? So we are at unlock 1 or unlock 2 or lockdown 5, whatever you call it. People are moving around, meeting people, business as usual, and you don't know that from where you have contracted the virus. And there are two things that can happen. Either you have symptoms or you do not have symptoms. If you do not have symptoms, it is called asymptomatic, which 80 to 90% of the cases are today. And if you have symptoms, you'll have symptoms like fever, cough, you'll have breathlessness, you'll lose a sense of taste, you'll feel really tired, you may have a headache, and so on. So if you have any of these symptoms, please do visit any of the fever clinics that the BBMP has set up. Around 115 to 120 clinics are set up across Bangalore. At the end of this video, we'll have a list of all the clinics mentioned there, and it'll also be there in the comment section for the people who watch this video on Facebook and YouTube. So that's there. The best thing to do at this point of time for Bangalore, for people in Bangalore, is to avoid the 3 C's. So the 3 C's are closed spaces with bad ventilation, avoid crowds. At this point of time, anything more than 2 people is a crowd. Please avoid. More than 2 people, do not get together. It's problematic. And avoid close contact with people. So these are 3 C's to avoid, and follow the 3 W's. Watch your social distancing, maintain 6 feet distance from each other. Whenever you guys are meeting up, please follow that. Wear a mask at all point of time and wash your hands. These are the 3 W's to be followed. In spite of following the 3 W's and avoiding the 3 C's, if you have the symptoms, get a COVID test done. Visit the nearest fever clinics. They'll check your swab samples. They will collect your swab samples, and which should be sent to a designated ICMR lab. There are 25 ICMR labs in Bangalore where your swab sample would be sent. And what these ICMR labs do is they will check your sample, and within 24 to 48 hours, the report, if it is positive, God forbid if your report is positive, it would be sent to the local BBMP officials, and the BBMP officials will get in touch with you. So do not keep calling the lab saying, where's my report? The government is functioning very efficiently. ICMR is functioning very efficiently in terms of getting maximum tests done. The reports would reach you via BVMP if it is positive. If your reports are negative, they will come to you from the lab. The lab has authorized to give you reports only if they're negative. If they're positive, the BBMP will get in touch with you. What will happen then once BBMP gets in touch with you is very interesting. The BBMP health team would come and check the patient if the patient has symptoms, and based on the symptoms and the age of the patient and the kind of ailments the patient already carries, like hypertension, sugar, any kidney ailment, asthma, or anything, they will check the past history and they will decide whether the patient has to be home isolated or the patient has to be sent to a COVID facility, which has been set up across Bangalore at hotels, large halls. The Bangalore Exhibition Center is one of the COVID facilities. Or if the symptoms are severe, which is only 2% of the cases, 2 to 3% of the cases in Bangalore which have severe symptoms, they are sent directly to the hospital. And the BBMP arranges, for the ambulance. And in case you are an asymptomatic patient and your BBMP calls you saying, your report is turned positive, first thing you got to do is if you're living in an apartment, inform your resident welfare association so that the neighbors take care, and they're quarantined for the time being till you're sent to the hospital. And if if you're living in an independent house, contact BBMP. They will make sure your house and your neighborhood is sanitized, and they'll take care of the rest. So now, if you are at a COVID facility and you need to be shifted from one COVID facility to another, it's pretty simple. BBMP is there to take care. Else dial 108. The ambulance would do the helpful for you. And if you're at home and you got the test, like in my dad's case, he's still at home as we speak. BBMP is like he's having he's between asymptomatic to mild condition. So they've advised him that he could be at home and take treatment at home, but still we're still taking a call depending on his health. If there are any fluctuations, we may shift him to the hospital. So the procedure to shift him to the hospital is, I can call the helpline, make a note of the number. 14410 is one number. The second number is 104, only 104. The third number is 080 1077. And the fourth number is 080-2296-7200. So these are the four numbers set up by BBMP. The moment your test comes, you can call them up and they will handhold you in terms of the next steps and what needs to be done and how things can be taken care. So now these are typically a COVID patient, from what I've known, I'm not an expert, this is my knowledge from talking to people. Asymptomatic patient with mild conditions would be kept in the hospital anything between 10 to 14 days. And if the cases are severe, depending on the health conditions, they would be kept in the hospital. That's the doctor's call. And on the discharge process, you need to be tested negative. After they will do your test, once all your parameters are normal, your oxygen levels are normal, your temperature is normal for 3 days, then they will do your COVID test, and if your test is negative, you would be discharged. So now there are three stages or three types of patients that I mentioned. One is asymptomatic patients, one is patients with mild symptoms, one is patients with severe symptoms. So the discharge process for all three is different. So the doctor takes a call on this. So all we need to do here, from my experience here is, the panicking over COVID is more dangerous than COVID itself. People are just panicking left, right, center, and giving wrong advices to people, and trying to Google as to what the issue is and how they could sort things. All I want to say to everybody is, don't panic. The more you panic, that's going to put the patient into more panic than anything else. Stay cool, stay calm, 98% of cases are curable. Percentages that are shown in TV and in newspaper are very different compared to they even yesterday's active patients are taken into the recovery. So there the rate is going to be anywhere between 50 to 60%. So we'll have to check. We have to check the patients in March, say between or in April. All the guys who got diagnosed in April, what is the recovery rate of that? That will give us the actual recovery rate than checking the whole recovery rate that everybody is checking throughout. So all I want to say is, do not panic. Have faith in the system. It is designed to help you, and follow all the protocols. Don't panic over the COVID. All I got to say is that take care. Cheers to Bangalore. Cheers to the spirit of Bangalore. And I'm sure we're going to bounce back like we've done over all the tough times that we've had in the past. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. I'll be coming back to you guys with by sharing more of my experiences on how we're taking care of dad, and giving you guys first-hand information of how to handle things if anybody is tested positive around, and what stuff needs to be done later on. Take care. Bye bye.